So, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom releases tomorrow, so I thought I'd do a quick Nintendo video before it releases, and that would be a Nintendo Heroes Good to Most Good video. And I unfortunately won't be including Link because the game's right around the corner, and I don't want to put him in the wrong spot accidentally. But if I do a remake, I'll be sure to include him. For now, this is what I'm doing, starting with the evil and end with the good. First up is a face you might have forgotten was a hero at one point, but I didn't. That quote-unquote hero who takes the gold medal of evil is the only evil character on this list, King Bowser Koopa. Bet you weren't expecting this guy, huh? We all know Bowser far too well. His only endless goal is to kidnap Peach and stop Mario. But he also tried to take over the galaxy twice, kidnapped the Sprixie princesses, and even tried to marry Peach. Alright, so where does his heroic side come from? Mario and Luigi, Bowser's inside story. And also Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Here, the Blorbs, Darkness, and Dark Mess were all spreading everywhere. In both these events, Bowser's minions were taken away from him and used against him. Bowser put his differences with Mario aside in order to finish both threats. But as much heroism as he does, Bowser's still proud to be as villain as he likes. Next up are two entries in the gray area. Both of them hold more than one character each. The first two are Wario and Waluigi. Partners in crime until the end of time. They're both known as rivals to the famous Mario brothers. I think I gotta write scripts down so I don't mess up. But as long as money and sports are out of the picture, they're both surprisingly chill. I just wish I knew the Wario games. And if 2 thieves weren't enough, how about 3? Shiver, Frying Big Man, and the gray area. Before they figured out the truth of your actions in Splatoon 3, they all tried to eliminate Agent 3 any way possible, just for treasure. It wasn't until the Fuzzy Ooze was at stake when they finally decided to help. Fry created a path, Shiver called for a vehicle, and Big Man gave a helmet to breathe in space. If not for any of that, Agent 3 wouldn't have been able to reach Mr. Grizz. And who can forget the Calamari Incantation 3 mix? I don't care if Callie interrupts. Let her have a bit of fun. With the gray and evil out of the way, I'm now in the good category, starting with Donkey Kong. The guy isn't the friendliest ape around, as he often kidnaps Pauline a few times and so on. Once was after she ignored his mini Donkey Kong toy. Another time was when mini Marios were out of stock. But at least he always got a happy ending in every Mario vs. DK game. So then what are his actions in the Donkey Kong games? Defeats King K. Rool several times, freed 10 kingdoms from Ghastly King's grasp, and restored his island to normal from Lord Frederick along with his 3 sidekicks Dixie, Cranky, and Diddy. And so much more that I can't think about. You know Deep Cut are redeemed villains, right? Well, here's another one, Magolor. From Kirby's Return to Dreamland. Sorry if the angle was off, my thing was slow. He failed to defeat Landia in Halcondra, so he fled to planet Popstar to fetch Kirby. After Kirby beats Magolor's enemy Landia under his manipulation, that was when he stole the Master Crown to gain infinite power, thus turning on the people who helped him. He then attempts to conquer the universe, starting with planet Popstar, only to lose against Landia again alongside Kirby. He then finds himself stranded in another dimension and lost his powers. So he adventures through this new dimension to restore his magic and return home, only for the fragments of the Master Crown to take control of the Gem Apple Seed and become the Tree Crown without a ruler. Destined to atone for his misdeeds, Magolor slices the Master Crown in half with the Ultra Sword of his own, putting an end to its chaos. After this, he never attempts evil ever again. Alright, choose your partner, Pikachu or Eevee. Depending on the game, these 2 Pokemon become your partner for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. They take you to Professor Oak to learn about Pokemon. And from there on out, they travel with you everywhere they go. From one Pikachu to another, next up is the Great Detective Pikachu. Not to be confused with the movie. After an accident 2 months ago, Pikachu finds himself with amnesia. After a few Pokemon incidents where Pokemon went wild and berserk, He and his partner, Tim Goodman, travel all over to prevent Keith Norman from spreading R, which makes Pokemon go wild. Only to then realize that it wasn't Keith's doing. Keith was following orders from a man named Roger Clifford. After the accident, Pikachu was unable to use any electric-type moves. Until the climax of the game where he manages to pull off a Thunderbolt. Although, he has to be this low because he keeps eating the sweets for the clients, which upsets Amanda. And apparently he didn't seem to care about it. Coming up next is the original leader of Squidbeak's Splatoon, Captain Cuttlefish. Once a good friend to DJ Octavio, he would win against him in a war. And ever since then, he'd be out to defend the world from danger. From DJ Octavio, Commander Tartar, and eventually Mr. Grizz. Although, he has to be ranked a bit low because he ordered Agent 3 to attack Agent 8. From one old leader to another, next is the leader of the Waddle Dees, King Dedede. Why did he steal all the food in Dreamland in the first place? That should definitely give him a low spot. At least he did better later on. Like saving Kirby from Queen Sectonia, protect Dreamland from Nightmare, and buying Kirby enough time to escape from the Beast Pack. Such a noble sacrifice. Next is our favorite orange bounty hunter woman, Samus. When she was 3, Ridley ate her mother. This causes her to have anger issues. But hey, she was kind enough to adopt the baby Metroid. And nowadays, she'll keep fighting monsters to protect the galaxy. I talked about Detective Pikachu, now I'm talking about Emilia Christie. Pretty much the protagonist of Detective Pikachu. At the beginning of the game, she tries to stop Apom stealing a necklace from a little girl. Throughout the rest of the game, she becomes a helping ally, even saving Tim by fetching Chandelure to save him. Now, she wasn't supposed to tell the people at PCL that Tim's real name was Tim Goodman and not Tim Ottman, but how was she supposed to know? Next is another 2-in-1 spot. Wait. Sorry guys, I hit the wrong button. As I was saying, next is another 2-in-1 spot. New Agent 3 and Little Buddy. Some might say Agent 3 should be higher on the list, and that would have been the case if I was counting them separately. But long story short, they saved the world from Mr. Grizz, preventing him from turning every living creature into an unconscious mammal. Just like King Dedede and Magolor, Meta Knight wasn't always good either. As the main antagonist of Revenge of Meta Knight, he tries to conquer Dreamland, ending its lazy lifestyle. Until Kirby stood in his way. After that, Meta Knight never tried to take over Dreamland again. Instead, flying into action to keep Dreamland safe. If you thought I wasn't gonna add Off the Hook, you're definitely mistaken. Aside from hosting Inkopolis News, they also help Agent 8 and Captain Cuttlefish find a way to the Promised Land. And stop Commander Tartar from destroying Inkopolis. Talk about a Squid and Octo friendship. Speaking of Splatoon 2 newcomers, next is Agent 4. In Octo Canyon, Agent 4 helps Marie fight the Octarians and find Callie. And would have ranked higher if they did a bit more. Someone else that could also do more is Princess Peach. She's sweet, kind, and caring of her subjects. And she's always grateful of Mario for rescuing her. Though she could also do a bit more to defend herself. Next is the last of Kirby's allies on this list, Bandana Waddle Dee. What can I say? This guy just likes to help out however he can. If you're asking for help, this guy will be there to support you. Just missing out as part of the best is the original Agent 3. Defeating DJ Octavio, to saving Agent 8 and Cuttlefish from a blender, and the new Squidbeak leader. Who knows what many other adventures Agent 3 will go through. Finally, I'm in the top 10. Alright, Team Star Fox, roll out. They consist of Fox McCloud, Falco Lombardi, Slippy Toad, and Peppy Hare. Their main mission is to protect the universe from the evil Andross. Andross may never give up, but that means Star Fox won't either. Now I'm on to the last character from Detective Pikachu, Tim Goodman. Because of Keith and Roger, they made Tim's father, Harry Goodman, go missing for 2 months. Together with Detective Pikachu, Tim Goodman kept finding the culprits of any incident that happened. such as Carlos about the Trevenant Rampage case, Louise, who brought Crota to a lake and framing Dr. Walls, Max, who stole Another redo! Max, who stole Karina Mitchell's violin and replaced it with a fake, Gino, who stole a special mask, and eventually Roger Clifford about dispersing art in an area that's got the most amount of Pokemon. Let's hope he and Pikachu find Harry Goodman in Detective Pikachu 2. Coming in at 8th place is the ironically named Agent 8. After suffering amnesia, she and Cuttlefish form a truce to try find a way home, or to the Promised Land as called in the game, only for them both to nearly get smoothied until the original Agent 3 saves them, and thus Agent 8 stopped Tartar from destroying the world. It's a him, Mario. What more do I need to say about the plumber? Always going out into other places and protect them from danger, like multiple different kingdoms, outer space, or even the Paperverse. Whatever Bowser plots next, Mario will always race to stop him. Speaking of heroic plumbers, next is Mario's brother, Luigi. He's easily more cowardly than Mario, but that doesn't stop him from stopping King Boo, his arch nemesis. Despite having an L on his forehead, he doesn't hold what L stands for. Defeating King Boo 3 times has got to be a lot. Luigi, take all the rest you need right after. Next up is Yoshi, who starts the top 5. The Yoshis are lovable, adorable dinosaurs that just like to play and eat fruit. But this Yoshi specifically returned Mario and Luigi to their parents as well as saving the stork when they were babies. So one could say Yoshi is responsible for the Mario Brothers' heroism. Missing out in the top 3 is the magical space queen, Rosalina. Her backstory is so sympathetic and sad it makes you want to cry. But aside from that, if it weren't for her, Mario wouldn't have been able to save the galaxy from Bowser. And before the events of Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope, she put herself in front of the Rabbids and the Lumas in order to protect them from Cursa. She got possessed, but she eventually broke free, and delivered the finishing blow to Cursa, combining the weapons of her allies. Flying his way to the Bronze Medal of Good, even though he can't fly, is Pit, famously known to serve Palutena for good reasons. After thinking Medusa was the antagonist of Kid Icarus Uprising, surprise, it was actually Hades. All the evil Pit takes down: Twin Bellows, Hudra, Pandora, Thanatos.
Actually, I go by Thanatos now.
Whatever. And of course there's also Viridi, Cragalanche, Arlon, Phosphora, Theorim, the Chaos Kin, and Batu.
Seriously, that is the last time I want to hear from 2.
Sorry? The Silver Medal of Good goes to Kirby. If you know this pink puffball, you should know that he'd be at a very high place. He returned all the food that King Dedede stole, defeated Nightmare, and vanquished Dark Matter several times. I wonder who's next Kirby will take out. In the meantime, let's get down to the most good. As earning the gold medals of good are Callie and Marie. I do not think anyone would be expecting these two. I've seen a lot of people rank them low due to how they argue, but I don't hold any of their corrupting qualities against them at all. Callie can be hype, Marie can be calm. They balance each other perfectly. They help Agent 3 against DJ Octavio. They do the same for Agent 4. They get Deep Cut to redeem themselves. And they help Octavio and the new Agent 3 stop Mr. Grizz. And they've probably done so much more that I can't remember right now. In my eyes, the Squid Sisters are not only the most good Splatoon or Nintendo characters, but I would have them as the most good fictional characters of all time. Well guys, that's my list. What do you think? Disagree with me? How would you rank them? Let me know in the comments below. And enjoy Zelda Tears of the Kingdom